Good morning, children. I'm Sheetal Talwar here again with another chapter from the book Hornbill. That is, We Are Not Afraid to Die, We All Can Be Together by Gordon Cook and Alan East. Children, this is a true experience of the narrator. The story starts when the narrator was 37 years of age. He, along with his wife Mary, his son Jonathan, 6 years, his daughter Suzanne, 7 years, they all decided to go around the world through the long sea journey, just like Captain James Cook had done it 200 years earlier. So they started to sail from Plymouth, England on their 23-meter, 30-ton huge hull wooden boat called Wave Walker. The first 3 years of the journey went on smoothly and there was no problem at all. They covered 105,000 kilometers by now. They reached Africa, the Cape Town, and where the narrator hired two crewmen, that is, Larry Vigil, an American, and Herb Sigler, a Swiss. He wanted these two assistants to help him through the rough southern Indian Ocean. The climatic condition was not favorable, but they still continued to set their sail. Now, on the Christmas Eve, the weather was not favorable. The sea was very choppy, but still they could enjoy the Christmas. By the New Year Eve, also the condition was a bit worse, but somehow they managed. But this climatic condition turned out to be worst by 2nd January, and the things were out of control. The sea was all over with mighty waves and turbulent currents. Somehow they were ready with all this life saving apparatus. They had worn the life saving jackets, their waterproof clothes, and all the things, accessories which were required to save their life. But all of a sudden, by the evening, the sky grew darker and a huge 15-meter wave happened to dash the boat, and the narrator was blown into the water. He was badly hurt in that way. He was sinking in the water and he accepted his coming death. But all of a sudden, his body popped out of the water, and another mighty wave happened to throw him back to the deck just like a rag doll. He crawled somehow with the railings of the deck, and his ribs were broken, his teeth were broken, the mouth was bleeding profusely. He crawled towards the cabin of the children just to bring a hammer, few screws, and the canvases, which he wanted to cover the broken planks of the ship from where the water was pouring inside. He saw his daughter was badly injured. There was a big, huge bump, forehead, and the eyes were totally swollen. There was a deep cut in her arm, but he couldn't afford to ask him at that very moment and condition. He covered the broken planks somehow with the canvas and the screws. He arranged for an electronic pump just to pour the water out of the ship. That was working smoothly, but all of a sudden, due to the debris in the water, it got short circuited. The two hand pumps were being carried away with the currents, along with the jibs and the the dinghies and all. But somehow he was lucky enough to find another electronic pump and arranged a pipe to it, and the water was pumped out of the ship. Now the condition was a bit in control, but the ship was totally wrecked. His wife was handling the wheel. He somehow was lucky enough to find the wheel, and he asked his wife to stern the wheel for the another wave. That lady was stuck with the wheel on the ship, and this man, he was trying the measures to save the ship somehow. The ship was not in the condition to take them back to Australia, but they decided to find another way to rescue themselves. He was studying the chart but couldn't stuck to an idea. In the meantime, he happened to reach to the cabin of the children. He found his son asking him a question. That, "Father, are we dying?" The father was without a response. He was filled with despair. He couldn't answer this question of his son. And the other moment, the son happened to say, Father, we are not afraid to die if we all can be together. The statement of his son, when he saw that this child at this age wasn't afraid to die, why has he lost all his hope? He's decided to fight the sea. With this optimistic view in his mind, he studied again the chart. And in the meantime, when he was studying the chart, the daughter, in that very terrible condition of her injury, she happened to draw a card with the caricatures of her mom and dad, in which there was a message of love and thank to them. All these things motivated the father and encouraged him to fight the sea. He studied the chart and saw there were pinprick islands drawn in it. He studied and calculated certain knots of the sea and asked Larry to steer the wheel at 185 degree and keep on sailing in this very direction. And if they are fortunate enough, they'll be reaching an island for sure by 6 o'clock. But somehow he was so tired that in 2 days they had their first meal. The wife could arrange for a beef and few cracker biscuits. They took it, and turn by turn they all were resting in the meantime. Even the narrator was very tired. After instructing Larry about the direction of sailing towards the east in a 185 degree, he went to his bunk and was dozed off. He woke up by 6 p.m. and he saw that his son was around him. He asked his dad, "Can I embrace you?" The father asked him the question, "For what?" He said, "Because you are the best daddy in the world and the best captain as well." He said, "Why? What had happened?" The son said, "Because you were lucky enough to find an island for all of us." The narrator was thrilled to hear this, and he went to the deck and he saw the outlines of the island. They went near the island, but they anchored offshore. When the day broke, the 28 inhabitants of the island cheered them and helped them offshore. And when the narrator landed on that island, he just thanked God and was recalling the time and was thanking God for his best team, that is of the crewmen Larry and Herb, who were very much hardworking and they did not give up. Even the wife was very much brave enough to to be on those crucial hours with the wheel. The daughter, who was badly injured but did not complain at that age. Even the son, who was 6 years and never was afraid to die. Now, children, with this note, we can say that with the optimistic views, we can fight the worst situations in life. The terrible condition in the vast ocean where there was nothing to rescue, but still with the hope and certain comments by the family members, the narrator could fight the challenges of life. So with this, we can say that we all can face the challenges of life with our belief in ourselves and the trust in ourselves. So now, go through the hard word meanings, read the chapter, and I'll be soon uploading the questions in the group. Just go through the answers and frame your notes. Thank you.